Hello, good morning. Welcome into another episode of Good Morning Nasdaq right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. It is a beautiful sunny day. It is the 8th day of August, year of our Lord 2025. Welcoming in a lot of you guys who are so excited for this Friday. We got No Thanks Wing Poon always in the house. Wayne always in the house. Sandra, Mark, Randy, Vladimir, Sly Hosan, Drummer Max, Andrew, Mash for Fun, Jack. Good morning. Get going, rocking and rolling over there in the live chat. Gonna need some questions because the Gapper list is just as dead as the day we started this week. We probably have a world record for Clover amount of non-gappers this week. We probably had like 5 gappers. No, I don't know, 3 gappers over 100% maybe, and like 5 to 6 that are over 70%. It hasn't been great. I think they've all been fading, or I guess one I know stopped you out on Wednesday or Thursday, but
Tuesday I think it was. Yeah.
it's been bleak out there, folks, and it hasn't changed. And I will be the one to tell you when it changes. It didn't change yet, so we'll see. Maybe today is the day. I don't know. The SPY, it's green this morning. It's kind of absorbed yesterday's red candle, but yeah, do we want to continue to beat a wet bet? Do we want to beat it? Do we want to continue to beat that dead horse? Or can we just keep moving forward, grinding away, studying?
When you owned it, it just sounded like you were going in reverse. Like,
so yeah, we can continue to just say market sucks, market slow, or we can just be positive and get ready for whatever's to come. Usually we get a spurt. When we get around 10 market days this dead, we usually get a spurt. But you never know. And that's why it's just about showing up every single morning, giving it your all. And if you do that with an ignorance of what's going on in the market, you should just end up taking less trades when it's slow and taking more trades when it's hot. But here we are on Friday. How we doing, Kyle? Excited to go into the weekend?
Oh yeah, I am happy. It's Friday. Yeah, I mean 3 gappers total. There's 3 gappers I should have personally took this week. I took one, and it was the only loser. So on that positive note, things are just going great for those. But again, I mean, if you've heard me talk about it, I think like I've said it live, I cared less over the last month about them. So we still watch them, we still talk about them on Go to Nasdaq, obviously, but nothing super fancy or nothing super exciting this week in particular.
I feel you. That's the thing. I was like last night. I'm like, are we really about to be next week 10, like a third of the way through a month, and I don't even have something I should have won on? It's kind of a depressing thought, but it's like also like it's such a reminder how important capital preservation is when your plays aren't there. Like you can't just show up to the market every day. Like I got to get my nut. I got to make some money. This week has to be the week. It just never, ever works like that. And even when the market's like hot, if you push during the one wrong week during a 4-week stretch and 3 weeks of great action, 1 week of not, you can find yourself digging a deep hole that the rest of the month has to pull you out of. And I'm trying to mentally just keep my my R that I'm down to start this month around 3 to 5 or less. Like it's just a very controllable drawdown because I know I can make it back in one trade, and when a win comes, it will be fine. And then we'll get going at some point here, but not a lot on watch. Watch list is pretty bleak. Gappers are pretty bleak. Probably going to be a couple early weekend starters. Early weekend, start the weekend early, if you will. But it sucks to be saying that at 9:03, 5 days in a row. But it's the truth. It's the truth. We do have one gapper on watch. That's a cheapie, up around 100%. So we'll talk about that one. Then we'll answer any questions that you guys have. So if you have any questions on tickers, I already see some new tickers popping in. If you have any questions, let us know. We'll run this till about 9:15 to 9:20. Get on out of here. We got to actually close it out on time. I know that we started a little late, but there's no gappers. I keep getting to the market after the open downstairs, and it's just not responsible for me. So we really would appreciate it if you guys hit that thumbs up button for us. Really does go a long way for our mental states and the confidence of the channel. Make sure you're
For my
subscribed.
sanity?
Yeah, if you're not subscribed, make sure that you are, because we post content all week, every week, and we're live every day the market is open. So if that interests you, if you like the way we dialogue with each other, consider subscribing. If not, screw you. Just kidding. We love you. We love all of you. All right, biggest gapper of the day. ORIS. Oris.
Oriental Rise Holdings.
Oris. Let's go there. A non-alcoholic beverage industry. They have an 18 million float. Market cap and EV. I've never really looked at this, but they're negative 45 billion. Out of China. Looks like they make tea products, primarily white tea and black tea. I don't see news. I just see 11 days ago they were acquiring someone else, Dowie and Minji. They did an offering a couple weeks ago. Do you have any news that I'm not seeing?
No, I don't see any either. When I look, something happened on July 22nd that caused a gap down. I'm not sure if that's
that would have been the offering, $6.9 million public offering.
Okay, which is interesting why they did an offering, only because on Delusion Tracker it says they're cash flow positive. I doubt that, given the offering and or the stock price, but stock price even before the offering.
That.
Yeah,
they got information that they're not in compliance with the minimum bid, so they went from being 50 cents a share to 17.
There you go.
Not helpful to the cause there.
No,
I always find it funny when these stocks, pull up a chart for a second, we'll have that bad news. And we see a ton of these cheapies that we've traded over the past, a couple of years. They'll have bad news gap down, and then all of a sudden, like, the volume is churning, and it's not even like similar dollar volume. It's not like that's the case. It's just like all of a sudden, like, it's interesting now that it's even lower and at a base. But it's bouncing this morning. It's up 87% right now, up from around 9 cents up towards 20 cents. I don't see really any dilution here. They have a 2025 S1 offering that's priced for 10 million at an exercise price of 46 cents. They have a July 2025 warrant at an exercise price of 0. You know anything about that?
Would be, maybe that's cashless? Does it say cashless?
Yes, alternate cashless.
Okay, yeah, it pretty much means you can do it wherever. It's like there's no price. It's low as you possibly want to go.
59 million warrants. But yeah, it says offering ability is low. Maybe all this is just wrong. It's out of China. But the main thing that matters is we got kind of a dumpster dive stock that just recently dropped from 50 cents to 10 cents. It's gapping up towards 20 cents. It is top left to bottom right. A year is too far back to even catch this daily chart. Let's keep trying. Top left to bottom right. There's gap and crap day here. Kind of a red gap day there. But really is just in the depths here. Sometimes this type of stuff where it's just bad news leads to pretty big moves out of these cheap stocks. It's already kind of on pace for like pretty redonkulous volume. Already 408 million today. I know dollar volume wise, it's not like the same as 400 million on a $2 stock, but you can easily start to see where in 2 hours, if it's trading this type of volume, you're going to have billions of shares being traded. And then I think you kind of into a weekend, maybe you have something where a lot of people are looking at it for a gapper, afternoon long. Like, people are probably licking their chops to get involved in something that moves. That's like the bullish case I can provide. For the rest of it, pretty bearish. Not really. I wouldn't expect much out of it. It's a cheap stock that needs to get over $1 or else they're going to have to do something about it. They just recently did an offering. It looks like they have some stuff they can do. I don't really see any news. So I don't see much in terms of, I guess if you want to call it a breakout over like 29 cents, but at that point it's going to be up hundreds of percent. And then maybe it goes into the 40s. And then if you want to short it, it's like, okay, it's a 17-cent stock. What are you going to get? It's going to go to 14, 13, 12. It's kind of like in this case, I feel like the only thing I would do was long if it was like the first thing I said, which was billions and billions of shares into a weekend.
Yeah, tough to buy a breakout that's technically would be a breakout, but like if you're a breakout buyer, you should genuinely have some rules around how high you're willing to buy the breakout. Like if you're up 300% already, like what's the chances of it going up 400% that day? Some do, but I would keep that in mind. And first off, you got to have the chances if it even gets there. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. You're not interested in the short? Too cheap?
No, I hate the. I mean, maybe if like
it ran to like 30 cents first or something.
Yeah, like there have been times where ones are over 20 cents. I will give it a try, and that's only if like I'm actually have some level of conviction that they will go back down to like 10 cents. And sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't, and it ends up being kind of a waste of my buying power. But today's not too busy, so I guess it wouldn't technically be a waste of my buying power. But again, it's not worth, the commissions, the borrow fees, the potential gain of 2 cents today or 3. It's not it. It's not worth it.
It's kind of weird too. It's basically been in a 4-cent range all day. I don't have 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. on this chart, but been like pretty sideways, like trading this massive volume in this kind of tight range. It's not like it's like, maybe there was probably a spike in the morning before then, but it's holding up, doing pretty good volume. 412 million shares already. Volume's like the only thing that I think could entice me here, and it wouldn't even be in the morning or anything like that. Like, this is not the thing I want to jump on in my week of trying to take as little trades as possible. But that's Oriental Rise Holding, your biggest gapper of the day. And as I do a quick double, triple, quadruple check, I can see that there have been no gappers that have decided to come out and play. All right. Let's see if we have any questions. It's 9:11. We'll do a couple minutes here.
Alrighty.
I'm just gonna kind of pick some good ones, because if I just read them, then I'm gonna end up being here till 9:30 again. So if your question doesn't get asked, just pin it. Ask it again on Monday or a Wine Wednesday session. Or if it's a question that I don't answer, it's probably because it's going to be too long of an answer, which in case is perfect for our webinar style. Or just in the room, you can always ask us questions and we'll type out long paragraphs for you over at clovertrade.io. Just want to remind you, this is a free show, and so we can't just sit here all morning and answer everyone's questions. So we apologize that as you guys are here and participating, which is what we ask of you, that sometimes we can't get to all your questions. All right. A couple people mentioning ATNF, and I looked at that, and when I looked at it, it looked like a breakout, and then it looked like it came all the way back down to where it came from. So I don't know what the news was. This was one, I think that was a biotech that tried to do crypto treasury or something. Ethereum treasury strategy. So I don't know if people just jumped on it because Ethereum's near the highs again, or because I don't see a PR or anything right now.
Probably.
But this one, every time it gets into that high fours area off of that news, has failed. So maybe a chart to keep an eye on, but I don't like to be in stuff where even if I was in from 350s, it goes to 5 and then it's back at 350s 10 minutes later. It's not my favorite.
Not fun.
All right. Jose says I've only taken one trade this month. That's probably a good thing. To Kyle, you spoke about the SPY being up or down doesn't really affect small caps. Do you have a different view?
Wait, so did someone say that and then they're asking me what I think?
Your Wine Wednesday, the guy you spoke with said that the SPY up or down doesn't really affect. Do you have a different view?
Triforce Trader? No, I have the exact same view.
I feel like if there's anything that should show you, it's been the last few months where it's really not been that hot, but the overall market has been ripping. And there's definitely been time, like you think about COVID, right? Our market was the hottest it's ever been, and the overall market was in the gutter. So for a while, then it turned around, and then it was good. Small caps were good when it was bad, and good when it was good.
Yeah.
Andrew, when coming back from a 1 to 2 month break, would you keep using the risk you were using before, or would you slowly build it back up?
It's up to you. Were you profitable before you took a break? Were you if I was, like example, if I took a break for 2 months and came back, I would start just as I left off. Like I've been doing it for 9+ years. 2 months would not be even remotely long enough for me to feel like I wasn't, I was gone long enough. But if you were unprofitable and you decided to take a 2-month break and then you came back because you were losing, yeah, I would start off as if you don't want to lose any money. Like it just depends on where you are. I feel like that's a question you should be able to answer for yourself, depending on how confident or where you're at in your journey and or profitability. So
awesome. Jack Kellogg says to that person, "Quit your job, Andrew." They are friends, and Jack Kellogg is in here. So hello, Jack Kellogg. Dom, how do you keep mentally cool in the slow market? What do you say to yourself or do? Well, I go back in my mind to all the times I've been in this market before, which has unfortunately been a lot of times. And just in terms, I was just doing some data on myself the past few days. And if you look at the past few months when the market has been relatively warm in small caps, I still have weeks where how many drawdowns have I been in or you've been in the last 2 or 3 months? It's like you still get 5 or 6 days, even in like warm markets where you don't make any money, you don't win, or you just go on little drawdowns. So I reflect on those times, and I basically just say, like, when I come out of this, because I know we're going to get trades at work eventually, would I rather be in a 10-hour hole or a 5-hour hole? So that's literally it. It's like I could sit here and force, or I could sit here and be bored for a bit and then go make some videos or go to lunch or go golf. Like you realize that your time is so much better spent doing something else. Unless you're in the beginning, you need to like study, which you still could. But mentally, to keep cool, you just have to you need to be a mental giant at all times, whether times are good or times are bad. You're always susceptible in this game. Wing, we're gonna skip that one. Sorry. Warren says, "Is BTAI interesting to you for a breakout, even with a red daily candle? Intradaily looks like a possible breakout." I have it on watch. To me, I don't do any extra thinking. It either is a pattern or it's not. And unfortunately, even though it's just like one consolidation day, it still would be a breakout over the 384 area. So I'll be watching it. Kind of noting the same thing, that everything that Kyle said to the downside of why he didn't like it for first red day is kind of why I would feel the same way about a breakout. But just in that it didn't run very cleanly, but it would be a breakout, unfortunately, and I'm not doing any extra thinking these days. It either fits or it doesn't, and I will take the ones that fit. Yoshi, Dom, what was your recent A+ setup and trade? What were its main characteristics? I just did a video lesson on this, some of the best trades over the past month. So if you want to check that out, you can join the membership on YouTube if you just want video lessons, and you can see them there. Or if you join 4Leaf, you can see all of them there. I just highlighted and did like a 30 or 40-minute video on the intricacies of the best trades lately and how I traded them. So more of a question for that or a webinar. Sorry to anyone who wants to know the answer to that. Now is not the time. All right, last question for Kyle, because this is above my pay grade. What do you think about interest rates are affecting this right now? Because in 2021, we had like no interest rates, and that's not the case now. So slower market cap market, even though hot overall market. Slower small cap market.
I mean, I'm sure there's some effect, but no, I mean, I wouldn't correlate 2021 being super hot in small caps because of low interest rates. I mean, yes, it helped for sure. I'm not going to deny that, but the thing was the money printing, right? The big catalyst in 2020, 2021 was that people, literally anyone under the sun, got stimulus checks. So people who didn't need them had now extra cash, mainly some of my friends who were never traders in their lives, and all of a sudden they are now traders during COVID. So like that was the catalyst, right? That was the 90%, 80-20, what was the majority of that reason? It was the stimulus checks. Because I mean, interest rates have been higher in the last, 2 years, 3 years, but like we've gotten plenty of opportunity, right? There's been plenty of sectors. There's been plenty of hot runners. There's been black swans, right? So, yes, it'll help for interest rates to be lower for maybe companies to survive. So you might get just a little bit more runners or opportunities, or just small caps that aren't bleeding to zero. But I wouldn't think that if the Fed lowers interest rates, that all of a sudden you should just expect we're going to be back in 2021. I don't think anything will really significantly change unless they start quantitative easing. If they start quantitative easing, that's the majority catalyst that I think would really change things. Interest rates shouldn't do a whole lot, in my opinion. So,
because of the quantitative easing, right?
Right.
The carbon there's leavesing.
It's like it's such a complex word. You just don't even say easing, right? It's easing.
Qualitative easing. Yeah, that was just a really speculative market, a lot of hype, and when people start to expect 500% moves, 1,000% moves, you start to get more of them. Shorts didn't want to stop fighting. It was a good time, and I think it was just like the perfect blending of a bunch of different things and it happened for such a long period of time. It wasn't like the speculation of monkeypox that lasted for a week. It was just like COVID was there were so many layers to it. It was masks, it was hand sanitizer, then it was toilet paper, then it was vaccines, then it was no vaccines, then it was food delivery, then it was food delivery, then it was Zoom. There were so many different layers that we had OTCs running. We have marijuana, we had Bitcoin, we had AI,
everything had its moment. Yeah.
And it was just like one to the next to the next to the next, and it was a time in which I doubt we will see again anytime soon. All right, everybody, 9:20. We're going to head on over to the room if you ever want to join us there, clovertrading.io. Appreciate all the great questions. You guys are really doing a great job of questions, so much so that I can't get to them all. And I apologize. Like I said, pin a pin in them, and we'll try to get to them in the future, or you can always ask us in webinars or in the room, and we'd be happy to answer those, or Wine Wednesday. We'll be live again Monday morning, 8:45 a.m. for another episode of Good Morning Nasdaq. If anyone wants to be 4 people, seeing 4 volunteers, just hit that thumbs up button on the way out. Really, really appreciative. It's for no purpose other than it's a weird number looking at 46. I'd like to see it at 50. It's just I'm kind of quirky, I'm a little quirky. All right, stay safe out there with all the quantitative easing, and we will see you Monday morning.
All the corn on the cob easing.
All the corns in the light of. We'll see